There have been multiple water rescues and water deaths over the past couple weeks because of partially frozen ponds. That includes 2 children.
Emergency responders continue to repeat their warning about thin ice. WFMY News 2's Sydney Moore joins us live now in Rockingham County with the Madison Rockingham Rescue Squad about the dangers on the water.
Hey, Chad and Julie, I am at the Mayo River State Park, where you can see right behind me this pond is pretty much covered in ice, which is why we are out here. We want to help spread awareness for people who might ever find themselves near or around a pond for any kind of reason. And to help, I'm with the Madison Rockingham Rescue Squad, Mr. Steve Bowles here, and we're looking at these conditions here together. Kind of tell me what you exactly see here.
Well, it is deceiving. It just looks like a beautiful place where you could go put on ice skates and go have fun, run around on a sled. But there's such danger that you never have any idea how thick that ice is. And in this part of North Carolina, in this part of the country, we just don't get sub-freezing temperatures long enough to create an ice layer that's thick enough to be able to go out and play on or recreate on. So again, it is deceivingly dangerous.
Absolutely. And earlier I was just right beside the pond and I kind of just tapped my foot there. But the more I put my body weight and my pressure on it is when you truly start to see that ice break.
Yes, ma'am, you're exactly right. And you never know at what point it's going to break. It may be a foot or two from the shore, maybe 15 or 20 feet from the shore.
And quickly here too, you said something interesting earlier. You never know early in the day where the sun might shine as well too. So if the sun is in particular spots is when some areas can start to see it melt and you just never know it.
Exactly right. The pond behind us here, one end is going to be much more frozen than the other end just because of the way the sun hits it. And in the other adjacent pond, there's no ice on it at all. So you could easily go out to a farm pond or whatever the case may be, and part of it be fairly safe and secure near the shore, and then the rest of it just be paper thin.
Sure. Well, right here in your hand, you have what's called a throw bag. Kind of tell us what that is and what you're going to do with it.
Well, this is a good safety device and a fairly inexpensive safety device. These are anywhere from about $35 up to maybe $100 on the internet, but it's called a throw bag. A lot of boaters, kayakers, or canoers will use them, and then emergency services will use them, and it's typically anywhere from 35 or 50 feet in length up to maybe 100 feet. Now 100 gets a little tricky to use, so we normally look in the 50-foot range. But I'll use one here, and basically the concept is when your friend or family or loved one or maybe beloved pet is out there on the water, on the ice, and in trouble, it is real hard to control your emotions. You want to go and do whatever you can. We encourage folks to call 911 first and get that emergency system in response. We can always have emergency responders turn around and go back, but that way they're coming in case your plan doesn't work out the way you thought it would. And then the second thing is we encourage folks to try to stay out of the water at all costs. So if you've got something like a throw bag that you can throw to your loved one or your neighbor, or maybe a long pole. You know, there's a lot of bamboo that grows in this part of the state, and you could cut, if you had a farm pond, you could easily cut a 20-foot piece of bamboo and just lay it beside the pond, and it be there in your time of need. Our ladder, 24-foot extension ladder, may not be as handy, but the throw bag is a good, economical, hang it on the four-wheeler, hang it on the tractor, hang it on a tree, and it's there. So it's just hold on to the rope with one hand, and then with the other hand, throw it much like you would a softball. And of course, the more you practice it, the better at it you'll be. But we'll just toss it.
And even when you did that, you could even kind of see a piece of that ice still kind of break, which I even held this bag. It's not as heavy, right? But you can tell the conditions of it still kind of makes that ice here break. And after you throw it out, you say you just kind of reel it on in. And hopefully the idea is that if somebody is inside of that water, the person on this end helps pull them up.
Exactly. If they're in a conscious state and they still have enough feeling in their hands and fingers to be able to grab that rope and hold on to it, the ideal would be you're able to pull them back to shore. The very least, hopefully you can keep them above the water. If they can hold that rope, you put a little bit of tension on the rope until emergency responders can get here and assist. Emergency personnel have a number of different techniques that can be used, whether it's a short distance or a long distance, anywhere from from ladders to even putting a boat on the water, or having someone in dive gear that can actually get into the water up to their neck. And we'll show you just in a minute, and my coworker here that's got a dry suit on.
And we're going to do that really quick because we're probably running out of time here. You did bring one of your crew members out who is dressed in their uniform, and this is what they would wear. And thank you so much for joining us here today. If there is somebody out in the pond in danger, kind of tell me what it is he's wearing and what that safety routine looks like for your crew.
I will, and this is a snapshot. Obviously, he would have on a proper helmet, gloves, and several other things to go with it. But the essentials here are the dry suit, which encapsulates the body except for the hands and the head. So as long as you're in the water, at least your head is sticking out, and then we've got proper gloves that go with this to help protect the hands, then basically he's going to stay dry inside. And then the life jacket is top 5. That's intended for rescue or special operations type use. And of course, safety gear, whistle, knife, different things to go with it. The dry suit has become a standard for us, not only in this situation or in cold weather, but also on the rivers. There are a number of contaminants in the rivers. They look pristine like a mountain stream, but from dead animals, feces, fertilizer runoff from fields. So we, as a standard, try to always use a dry suit anytime we go into a body of water.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, these are incidents that we never want to see in our community, but safety awareness is always important.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. Just call 911 first thing.
All right. Thank you so much. And again, here live in Rockingham County, Sydney Moore, WFMY News 2.